Let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a traditional cooking tutorial and turning it into a completely foolproof, beginner-friendly masterclass. We're tackling a world-renowned dish, chicken coconut soup, or Tom Kha Gai. Honestly, if you've ever felt intimidated by Thai cooking, this explainer is literally made for you. We're going to make sure that even if this is your very first try, you are going to nail it perfectly. So if you're stepping into the kitchen to make this for the first time, take a deep breath. Don't panic. We're tackling the most common beginner frustration right out of the gate. Picture this, right? You've spent all this time prepping, you serve what you think is a rich, creamy soup to your guests, but instead, there's this unappetizing, greasy oil slick floating on the top. Why does that happen? Well, that greasy layer is caused by curdling, and it's our main enemy today. Basically, when coconut cream gets hit with intense, prolonged heat, the fat molecules break apart. This forces the oil right out of the cream, separating it from the water. Our entire mission with this explainer is a tactical approach to completely avoid this exact disaster. We want a pristine, velvety smooth, snow-white broth, definitely not an oily mess. To get us there, we've got 4 super simple steps today. 1. Curdled coconut, the classic problem. 2. Ingredient prep for beginners. 3. Boiling chicken and herbs, which is our foundation. And 4. Coconut cream and final steps, also known as the roof. Let's kick things off with part 1, curdled coconut, the classic problem. We really need to understand the why before the how. Think of it like this. Boiling your chicken and fresh herbs in water first is exactly like pouring a strong, sturdy foundation for a house. You're locking all those amazing aromatic flavors into a totally clean broth. On the flip side, adding that rich, delicate coconut cream, that's like putting the roof on your house. You'd never ever try to build the roof before you pour the foundation, right? It's the exact same logic here. If you boil that coconut cream right from minute 1, it breaks down and curdles instantly. All right, moving right along to part 2, ingredient prep for beginners. Keeping things organized is going to make prep an absolute breeze. You've got your aromatics, like sliced young galangal, lemongrass, crushed shallots, and torn kaffir lime leaves. Then your protein, which is large chunks of chicken thigh. And finally, your veggies, so some torn oyster mushrooms. Now here is an absolutely crucial tip for beginners. When you're cutting those chicken thighs, make sure they are big chunks, like about 2 inches in size. Why? Because chicken shrinks a lot in hot broth. If you cut the pieces too small, they'll basically vanish into the soup and you'll completely lose that hearty bite. Oh, and a quick pro tip before you even think about boiling water. Take a second to lightly fry your dried chilies and set them aside. Why fry them instead of just dropping them in later? Well, the hot oil actually unlocks these essential volatile oils deep inside the chili that boiling water just can't extract. It's going to give your final dish this incredibly deep, smoky, complex aroma. It literally elevates it from a basic home-cooked attempt straight to a restaurant-quality masterpiece. Ready to cook? Let's jump into part 3, boiling chicken and herbs. This is where we build that foundation. You're going to want to follow these exact steps in chronological order. First, boil your tamarind paste right in the plain water. This is the secret to a perfectly smooth broth. The hot water completely dissolves the tamarind, so you get this even, non-clumpy tartness. Only after that is totally mixed in do you add your crushed herbs, then your big chicken chunks, and finally, those oyster mushrooms. Okay, listen closely, because this right here is where so many beginners accidentally ruin their soup. Once you drop that raw chicken into the hot water, do not stir it. Literally, leave it entirely alone. Letting the heat naturally cook the outside of the meat without moving it around stops any unwanted murky or fishy odors from leaking into your beautiful broth. Seriously, just let the heat do the hard work for you. Take your time with this phase. Let the chicken simmer for a solid 8 to 10 minutes to make sure it's super tender. And as it cooks, just gently skim off any foam or fat floating to the top. Keeping that broth crystal clear allows the galangal and lemongrass to deeply infuse the meat. And remember, wait until you have a true rolling boil, where large bubbles are rapidly and continuously breaking the surface before dropping in those mushrooms. That ensures they cook instantly and keep a nice bite, rather than just turning to mush. We are almost there. Part 4, coconut cream and final steps. It is time to add the roof. Adding pure coconut cream or huacati only after the base ingredients are fully cooked and boiling, this is the ultimate secret to success. Since the chicken and mushrooms are already completely done, the coconut cream only needs a few moments to heat through. This entirely avoids that intense, prolonged boiling that makes it separate and turn greasy. That is exactly how you get that velvety, perfect texture. Now, while the soup has a gentle, creamy simmer going, it's time to season. Add your palm sugar and fish sauce, and just keep tasting as you go to hit that perfect, harmonious balance between sweet and salty. Stir it gently until the palm sugar is completely dissolved. And once the flavor is spot on, get ready for the absolute most critical step of the whole process. Turn off the heat entirely.
The food science behind this is actually kind of fascinating. See, intense boiling heat destroys the delicate aromatic compounds in fresh citrus. So if you squeeze lime juice into a boiling soup, it loses all its bright fragrance and just turns into the sharp, harsh, overwhelming sourness. By killing the heat first, you completely preserve that fresh, mellow, restaurant-quality lime fragrance. It's a total game changer.
So, with the stove completely off, toss in your extra kaffir lime leaves and fresh chilies. Add in your Sautor coriander and cilantro, and finally, top the whole thing off with those fried dried chilies we set aside earlier. Just imagine that visual contrast, the bright reds of the fresh and fried chilies and the deep, lively greens of the herbs, all popping brilliantly against the pristine, snow-white canvas of your coconut broth. And there you have it. You now understand the science of the foundation and the delicate art of the roof. You know exactly how to dodge a greasy broth, when to use high heat, and why the stove absolutely must be off for the final seasoning. You are completely ready to build your first flawless, restaurant-quality bowl of Tom Kha Gai. So, with this foundation first, roof later masterclass under your belt, what traditional dish are you going to apply these new skills to next? Head to the kitchen and enjoy your amazing soup.